ourselves, my friends from India. Just to also inform you that this event is being streamed live on the church's Facebook platform. So a lot of the things that we're going to be here is going to be seen live worldwide. May we know which media houses are represented here? Starting from
I'm Asada from today's
news.
I'm Richmond Ebian, I'm also telling communications.
I'm Stephen Rayla, Kasapa Program, Station. Virginia.
Absolutely, for it, they're chronicle.
Kinsaki, television.
I'm not very fine. They can't come in.
We want to figure out.
Echo another class.
That's all. Thank you very much. I'd like to also take the opportunity to introduce the leadership of the church represented here this morning. I'll start by introducing Minister Dan Pierre, and then Minister Fred Fui, Minister, and Mr. Paul Moji. You've already seen Reverend our father of the house, Dr. Michael Kwiti. He's the General Overseer of the Makers House Chapel International. I'd like to introduce him to you, and then he'll take everything forward. Myself, my name is Jerry Chakramondi. I represent the PRT Church, and I also work with multi-media.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Is the official or the press launching of the Experience Conference. And Experience is a program that we do as a church family. It's been running for about 4 years now. Actually, this is the 4th edition of the Experience Conference. It's a period where we bring everybody, irrespective of your denominational orientation, whether you are a Catholic, a Pentecostal, a Charismatic, even an atheist, to come and experience the almightiness of God. And this year, last year, we did the Wheels of Favor. But this year we are doing Jesus the Christ, and it's a proclamation. It's a proclamation, letting the whole world know. I'm not sure if, of course, you are from the media, so you have been following the news. How so many people are coming up now denouncing the authenticity of the Jesus story. Some are saying that it is a derivative of the ISIS and horror story. There are so many things that are coming up, making the Jesus story almost like a fiction. It seems a made-up story out of the Catholic Church to brainwash or to enslave the masses, to coerce people into Western philosophy. But we as a church family and a group or unit that believe that the Jesus story is not a fiction, is not a cooked up or made up story, but is authentic, is real. We want to get together and proclaim him as the Christ. So that's why we theme that Jesus the Christ. So everything that makes him the Christ or the Christos, is the anointed one, the one who has the ability, the power, the one empowered or emboldened to save. And we want to protect him as such, that the whole world will know that he has what it takes to save, to heal, to deliver, and to push people to destiny fulfillment. At the end of the day, if Jesus is lifted up, he brings all men to himself. Now, what brings the confusion is the lack of revelation of who he is. If the Bible says, for lack of knowledge, my people perish, it is because the Bible knows, of course, God knows that if people do not know, then they will veer into error. Error in their submissions, error in their belief systems, their value systems. But if you have knowledge, then you'll be able to judge rightly. You'll be able to analyze correctly. And so we want the whole world, not just the people in Ghana, because people are traveling from all over the world. People are coming in from the US, from Europe, from other parts of Africa, just to be part of the experience of things.
And our proclamation is simple, that Jesus is the Christ. He heals, he saves, he delivers, and if people trust and rely on him, he doesn't disappoint. And as many as come to seek him, they will find him, because he who seeks will find, and his revelation will be made available, not just through the logos, that is the written word, but also through the rhema. Because if you've come to experience him for yourself, nobody can talk you out of him. But people get confused because they have no experiences of their own. And so this experience is going to project Jesus, not man, but Jesus. We've had experiences, as in conferences, experience conferences, that we've spoken about the grace of God, which is man-centered. The wheels of favor, man-centered. Extreme grace, man-centered. But if we proclaim him as the Christ, or Jesus the Christ, we are moving the argument from the human sphere and lifting it to a divine domain, and letting the world know who he is and what he's capable of doing. So that's what the experience is going to be about. And thankfully, we've assembled indigenous Ghanaians. Well, it's not that we don't believe in the ministry of outsiders or people who are not Ghanaians. I wouldn't say that. But of course, we also do believe that Ghana has great men and great women, that at every point their impact can be felt and their works can also speak for them. And so we are assembling, we have assembled 4 people. One standing, somebody will say before, you're very before. But 4 people, and Reverend Sudanaba is coming, Reverend Ampia Kofi is coming, Bishop Frank Kofi is coming. And we believe that these are seasoned men of God that are going to share with us, throw light in this chaotic world where there are so many atheistic movements and propaganda all over the world. We believe that these people can come and share with us that the Jesus that we have found, that we have experienced, that we have seen is real. He still speaks, he still saves, he still touches, he still forgives, actually. That is what makes him the Christ. He's able to forgive, he's able to save, he's able to deliver. And it starts on the 8th of October and it runs through till the 15th of October. In the evenings, actually, from the 9th till the 13th, it will be the evenings. That is from Monday to Friday. We are having evening sessions from 6 till 9. And the first and the last Sundays, we are doing joint services. It starts at 8, it ends at 10:30. Saturday we have a morning aura, which starts at 6 and ends at 8:30 as well in the morning. So yeah, we invite everybody, especially those who are not even Christians. Actually, I think that this experience conference is not for believers, okay, only. If believers do come, their faith is going to be deepened or solidified. But people who are curious, might be a Buddhist, a Muslim, from any religious inclination, I expect you to come, especially if you are doubtful of who he is and you want to really know about him. You want to know. And it's not just going to be a theoretical presentation whereby the theories of old, where people can still, to every theory you can still have gaps. So we fill the gaps with the supernatural. Because most of the time, if we only present the Jesus' story without the Jesus' power, there will be a disconnect. And you will feel that is an abstract reality. But our whole objective is to bring people to the saving knowledge and grace of our God. It's not going to be any abracadabra movement. We are not going to be magical, but it's going to be supernatural. Anywhere the name of Jesus is mentioned, the supernatural is available. And so we invite everybody, whether you're a politician, whether you're a thief, a rogue, an armed robber, a rapist, a pious, sanctified, sanctimonious, all the adjectives that you want to use, whoever you are, that is what this program is for. It doesn't matter where you've been to, how far you strayed. You might have been a very well-entrenched occultist, but you're still invited. Because it doesn't matter. Jesus is there to save. That's why we are lifting his name on high. We proclaim him. It's not a theme, it's a proclamation. We proclaim him the Christ. And so the moment we do that proclamation, his Christness will be experienced. And we believe that no life will ever be the same again. We invite everybody, every Ghanaian, every African, every European or Caucasian, everybody who wants to know, just make your way to Point 1 off Kwabenya Road from the 8th till the 15th of October, and we believe that your life will never be the same again. And I mentioned the assembly of the 4 people coming to speak, but I did not touch on the people that are also coming to minister. If it's going to be supernatural, it's like making a stew or soup, where you have so many things together. You have your tomatoes, your onions, so we have people within, people in-house. We have our DS will be there, our DC will be there, DSDC, get confused a bit, but our Destiny Songs, Destiny Choir, we have very powerful anointed ministers of the gospel who sing the heavens down, and they are all ministering. Other people too are coming from without, who are also coming to minister. And we also have able ministers of the gospel who are reverend ministers in-house. And so we are all together, and we are going to lift the name of God, of Jesus on high on that day, or in that week, during that experience time. So we invite you. I am looking forward to seeing all the media houses representing life, because the media is fond of propagating bad news sales. I'm a marketer, so I understand that. But we wish that even as there is going to be a new revolution, the media is going to help promote the good stuff that also happened within the Christian landscape, the impact. Today I was very sad that I did not even hear any of the media houses writing on or publishing or discussing the rollout of our scholarship scheme. But that is a very laudable or commendable thing that I think that people, especially those of you who are members of the faith, you belong to one church or the other, we should project Jesus out there for the world to know that that's the best family you can ever belong to. And so, looking forward to seeing all of you. Class FM, Ghana Web, Kasapa, Top Radio, Vacoret, and all that, all the news agencies and media houses. We want to see you, and we believe that we can partner with you to send the right message across. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to find out what do you think is the reason for this recent suggestion that Jesus Christ isn't real, and also some people will not be able to make it maybe due to work schedules and stuff. I want you to send a broad message so that at least we can also give a little background of what's going to happen and then how everything. Those who are losing.
It's going to be reported on Ghana Web, right?
Those who are losing faith because of these recent theories about Christ not being real. What's your general message to them?
The truth is, it did not start now. It's not recent as in recent. It's been there, just that it's been very subliminal. If you go back into time, I mean, history is replete with stories that are similar, from the Hinduistic perspective, from the Stoics, the Hellenistic era. If you go through I want to use the right word so that I won't be misquoted. But if you go through all the events and movements that have happened over the years, you realize that this is not new at all. The only thing that has brought a bit of credence to this is the media presence now, the reach of the media. At first, if you were in Bogoso and you were thinking that, okay, Jesus isn't real, you say it remains within Bogoso. But right now, if you say it in Bogoso, somebody in Ohio will hear. And so that is what is really bringing the spread. But doubts and skepticism is not going to leave our society. Actually, there are people who believe that they are white trapped in black bodies. There are people who also believe that they are blacks trapped in white bodies. There are people who believe that they are males trapped in a female body. That's the belief. So that kind of skepticism is going to continue. The only thing that can dissipate or infiltrate those kind of theories and arguments is when you constantly bombard the airwaves and the masses with the right analogies and the right kind of information. I was telling somebody today that those who are trained to examine fake currencies, they don't examine the fake currencies, they examine the original. And so by your constant exposure to the original note, it's easy for you to tell which one is not. But if we expose the world to what is not original or the counterfeit, everything original can even be confusing because they are only used to the fake. I think that what is bringing the massive spread of that kind of propaganda is because as a church we are not doing enough. We are not reaching out enough. The church is not getting into that kind of intellectual argument whereby we are able to put the right kind of information out there. Most people, if somebody come to them and start arguing on the biblical facts through history, archaeology, science, they run away and quote that it is not wise to engage in debate. But you see, it's also because most of the people who are leaders of the faith, I won't say religion, but of the faith, we are not studying enough, we are not researching enough, we are shying away from so many things that will make us strong and credible. But quite apart from that, we are not doing enough as a whole. We should be able to let the world know what you know. You have to move from the theory to a practical presentation of the Christ you experienced. If you had a Christ experience and somebody is telling you that it's a figment of somebody else's imagination, you can tell the person that I had an encounter. It's not that somebody talked me into it. I am like Paul. I was called Saul, but on my way to Damascus, I saw a light. And out of my experience, I can boldly say that he is there. He died, he rose, he lives forevermore. But if we are not able to go to the world with our experiences and we are only relying on, as somebody would say, an ancient book to tell people about who he is, then they will always throw dust in the eyes of the masses. So those are some of the things that are leading to that kind of insurgence of that disbelief of the Christian faith. But I want to say this. When it comes to matters of faith, there can't be any form of coercion. Because you can't have any empirical evidence to prove so many things that are faith-based. My encounter, I can't prove it to you. It can only be my encounter. Your encounter, you can't prove it. It can only be your encounter. But when you want to talk me out of my encounter, it means that you are not insulting what I believe in. You are insulting me as a person because you are telling me I don't know what I claim I know. And so people have to stand up to what they do believe in and what they've come to accept. And unfortunately, Christians are very laid back. No matter the level of faith of the Muslim, you can't go to the Muslim and talk him out of his religion. Excuse me. You cannot. So I don't know if that answers your question. So. Can I go watch it? This is I'm fine, thank you. I have BH water, so.
Please, is there any other question? Yes.
Again, you said a broad message to the whole. Undoubtedly, I think I need more water, sorry. You can see Jesus through all the passages in the scripture. However, it will take teaching, experiences through revelation to appreciate his nature or his person. The main objective of this conference, if you are not able to come, in sum, is to tell you that no matter what you hear outside, Jesus Christ, that the Bible says is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Excuse me. Unfortunately, we are streaming live, so I am breaking in between. But the main point is that Jesus' story, wherever you are, is not fake. It's not fake news, as Trump calls CNN. It's not fake news. It's not a made-up story. It's real. It is better for you to accept him now than to regret later. Because you are not going to be here forever. And at the end of the day, you are going to be held accountable for how you lived your life. And your surest way of escape from any kind of damnation is your belief in him. But we also do believe that so many people don't believe because they don't know. And that is why this conference is being held, so that we can teach and help, especially unbelievers, to know who he is. So we are just demonstrating his person and projecting his image, who he is, to the world. And at the end of the day, if you are also a believer and you come, or you are not able to come but you watch it, or you follow via live stream, or you read from Ghana Web or Kasapa FM online, or Top Radio, all those ones, Class Boss, wherever you read them from, we want you to understand, if you are not able to come, you are still contemplating whether you should believe God, trust in Jesus, or to hell with him. As you follow, we want you to come with open mind and heart. knowing that anything can happen. We are going to demonstrate his person and demonstrate his power to you. Book no lie, they say, but heat is undeniable. If you get close to fire, nobody has to tell you that your climate has changed, and that's the main objective for the Experience Conference.
Can we take the last question? Just an announcement. It will be available for interviews, especially for those of us who work in the Akan media. So we'll wrap this one up shortly so that the Akan media can also have a brief word with you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. Because some of it is okay.
Just this weekend, there was a video of Louis Farrakhan, the well-known Muslim who has denounced his faith and said he has taken Jesus and he's willing to pay the price. Today, when you look at the Christendom, people are not willing to pay the price to stand up for Jesus, to stand up for Christendom. Being there is for one thing. What account for these things? Even here, where freedom of worship is allowed, people shun away from Christendom. Like we said, when you engage Christians one-on-one, there's something you want to say. What account for these things? If there's any solution to this.
All right. Although this is a side issue to Experience, Louis Farrakhan, I have not heard, I have not seen it, so I will not be able to confirm or I mean, I trust you that what you've heard is what it is. However, when it comes to the price, everybody's price is different. Some people, the price they will pay for following after Jesus is losing their families. Because of course, if you are coming from a paganistic or a Muslim home and you want to accept Jesus, they are going to be thrown out of the house. They will disown you. And the price you pay is the price for not being of the faith. It will be considered haram in Islam. However, mine, of course, might be different. For me, probably the price that I have to pay for being a Christian is not being able to hang out with my unbelieving friends. And so what I mean is that prices that people pay are different. So if we lump all of them together and try to give an answer to it, it will be a bit far-fetched. However, I must say that the reason why so many people are not standing up for Jesus is because we have too many people who are two-faced. And the level of hypocrisy in our system is too much. That somebody who is a Christian can be in the office and his colleagues can comfortably talk about issues of profanity and they wouldn't have any remorse to even involve him in it. Because they know that he's like them. But when he comes to church, he will lift up holy hands as if he's never done that. And so what I mean is that there is hypocrisy, there is lack of maturity. So many people are not weighty enough. Because if you know Jesus, I said something a while ago that the proof of your service to God is the genuineness of your maturity is how often you stand up for him and how willing you are able to talk about him and for him, even in uncomfortable zones. But a lot of people can't do that because they are doing so many things which so many people don't know. And so if I know that you are a thief, just like myself, and you are standing up to say that stealing is bad, you don't even have that moral right to do that. But like I said, the prices we pay are very different. It's not everybody that will be stoned for accepting Jesus. Some people, they will just go without news. Some people, they might lose their homes. Some people might lose a job. Some people might lose a wife or a husband. Some people, so it's very different. But if you are a Christian, your core mandate is to let the world know the one you believe in and make disciples of him. So you go out there wearing Jesus as a badge of honor that the whole world will know. It's not about putting a crucifix or a cross as a chain or a pendant around your neck, because these days you have all the hip hop artists with their crosses, so it doesn't really mean anything. You should live a life that is exemplary, and we have to also understand that when it comes to our walk of faith, our actions are louder than our words. It is not so much what we say, but it's so much what we do. So if we are able to do much and affect a lot of people, the impact is repaid through people wanting to know the God that we know and the God that we serve. Thank you. The tree version. Experience you may be, you know. UTV. TV tree version. UTV tree version. Yeah, UTV go around. I don't want. Na omu hunu baabi a omu mfa omu gidie fapem nensi fi se nkofo ebe ka se Yesu a story no ana Yesu hu nsenkaye no eye abrofo no ma bi omu de ba ye se de be ya omu sisi omu de be dada nipa na omu de be sisi nipa na omu de be hye nipa so ana bese ebibifo so ama ebibifo abre won ho ase ama won som na ya to ye na nanom abosom ene na nanom som egu na yedi won achi na ye hyehyɛ dwumadie efiri sɛ ye pese ye mawiase nyina hunu sɛ Yesu ho nsenkaye no ana ne ho nsɛm na yetintim no okrata mu twɛkunkum mu a ɛfɛ ne Bible mu no enye asɛm a ɛyɛ obi abonitim enye bosremuka na emum no eye asema esi ya mpa na Kristo no oye Kristo prekope Yesu ye Kristo prekope sabre ya amu di ball achi munim se o Jesus Navas ne jese Man City players abiye Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Jesus ni ade Jesus can be a name, so we have to qualify it. Nen kase enye Jesus keke a obi atimi to. Nemum Yesu na oye Kristo no e na ye pagya no. na yɛgyidie ne sɛ sɛ yɛpagya yesu a hwɛ ne sɛ wɔbɛtwe akra nyinaa ama ne ho na yɛbɔ ne din anwanwadin no a ɔwɔ tumi sɛ ɔsa yareɛ ɔgye nipa ɔma nipa nkwagyeɛ sonko na ɔde nipa ɛsi baabi a ɔwɔ sɛ nipa si megyidi yie sɛ ɔman Ghana, Africa, the world sɛ yɛbɛhunu sɛ yesu yɛ awurade a ɛbɛboa yɛ nyinaa firi sɛ ne saving grace anaa ne gye tumi no ɛbɛtumi adaadi ɛwɔ obiara brabɔ mu ama nipa no atumi aduru baabi a sɛ nipa no ɔpɛ sɛ ɔduru na sɛ yɛma dwumadie adi mu no yɛaboaboa akasafoɔ ɛnan ano a Reverend student aba free Fountain Gate and EM Ministries Tikbolga Sofu Ampia Kofi free Global Bishop Franco Fosuapia ono so free all nations yabo omu nyina no se omumra na omumebua na gidifo yentimi entinioma asiye na ade bia aye ya adwemu kesene efa ye Kristo na edi na chi ne ho no yetimi ede ato yetimi edi so through information and now say omo enchechre omo de brain na experience program no enye enchechre nko a enema ne experience nemum experience ya de a to say de brofo kasa na eka no ade a esi a wan kasa otena ho a utimi se we de bibia si if he said in sisa ede mpuntuo ede nema bebre na ba manipa ede enlightenment nipa bibi esia afedi out now you are able to tell say baby this is not ordinary, and that is what experience program is all about. Now here October October a free eda etoso nkron ekosi da etoso du miensa no yebeye no enwumre free no nsia ekosi no nkron na kosi ada ne de October bosume no da etoso woche no ene da etoso dunum no de yebeye esoma yinyina ye ka bom tie yebeye one service som ba ko ye hyase anopa no woche ani apon anopa nondu ene fa na ye twensa frɛ obia opese ohunu Yesu nkyerɛkyerɛ no opese ote Yesu nkyerɛkyerɛ na se na ohunu sɛ it is not idea omo are transported from paganism and ya slapping on biblical theology nemum nokwasem a esi nokwasem a ekoso na Yesu no onsesa said the training is the same yesterday, today and forever. To say ene dapem no yetu nensa yetu yesafri ni pakro we Muslim ni we Buddhist we Hare Krishna we kanka we obi kwa unji nyamindi we Kristo tese emfound ni a we ebika Kristo ni wahwease nkwa okwa na yehwe no em say wahwease am say ebika ofusu na atwitwi ba yehia ba ne betie nyame asem na I mean ye boy Yesu dia ade one of the most beautiful things about projecting Jesus as the Christ his saving grace say found a boni ani pedi otimi de che na or restore nipa no as far as is concerned boni bia ni we so na boni bia ni we so boni ni nyina no ebedru ni wusoriye tumi na nima ebre ne wase because the blood of atonement emoja na edim pata eba no yes ade ni nyina ho djuma nti experience ye to safro bia especially mo media houses eja mwana modie kona mo amsade ya bei momra na momedom moe na yentumi empeja Kristo se erade na mum project the good things that the churches are also doing, their impact on community and the society, and the kind of teaching sound doctrine is not all the time and mobile overtaken by getting clicks on your websites or getting people to buy your newspaper. Sometimes I believe say your conscience and so and any eternal destination should also be listened to, especially when we are carrying out our duties as humans. And me say, you know, say mo shia mo ba ye nyamisha mo nyina na ontine ne mchem ne damase. Amen. Setching is no one. I can't.
Please, the event will also be streamed live on our website, themakershouse.org. Yeah, the conference. And then on Facebook as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, how do you say it in Ghana?
Grace of God in 2014, divine turnaround in 2015, the wheels of favor in 2016, and this year 2017 we proclaim Jesus the Christ, the Experience Conference 2017. Get ready.